All right, y'all, we're gonna going live. Sit here and chillax for a minute and let everybody come in, grab a seat, grab their favorite beverage. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, Sabrina. Love the post, by the way. You have an amazing reading voice. My brother Cannon from the woods of Mississippi. Annie. Come on in, grab a table, grab a chair. Miss Tracy Glover's watching. Mr. James. Miss Rachel. There's Guy. Mr. Deck. Another Rachel. There's a lot of Rachels. Can never have too many Rachels. Casey. What's up? What's up? What's up? Well, thank you, Rachel. Catalina, welcome. Jennifer, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, y'all. Sit down. Grab a table. Grab yourself a little nip of tea. Spike it with whatever you feel like. Hey, there's Samantha. What's up, Dana? Tammy? There's John. I know John's around. That means Kim ain't far behind. Love you both immensely. Tyra, welcome, y'all. Welcome. There's my brother Hewitt. All right, y'all. Give everybody kind of a chance to come in and sit down. There's Topher. What's up, Topher? And I just realized that I have never introduced you guys, as my brother Daniel, to my partners in crime that are always with me on each shoulder. This is Chad. It's Karen. Don't be a Chad or a Karen. Enough said. Jennifer, the fam is doing good here in the hot zone. Evie is starting to do better. She is trying to get up and move around, and then the medic in me kicks in and tells her to sit her ass down, which she growls and pouts a lot, which is excruciatingly cute, by the way. But she is starting to feel better, and I'm breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. Not a lot, but it takes a little bit of the stress off. So, Heidi, I'm going to hold you to that. Come down, take our tours with us here at Haunted History. There's my brother, Drew. Much love and respect to you and the fam, brother man. Once we get through all this, I expect to see all you guys come down and hang out with us in New Orleans so I can actually take you to a lot of the places we talk about during the live streams. All right, y'all. So we're going to get started. Today is Science Saturday. So today, the Apocalypse Edition. Though I don't know why I do that, because this is what I wear every damn day. So today we're going to go over and dive off into some of the types of hauntings that are out there. Kind of a little bit of definitions kind of thing. One of the things I do want to bring up, and we didn't get a chance to really dive off into it yesterday. What's up, Dave? Yeah, Daniel, she growls. Well, she listens occasionally. I think that's not listening. I think that's called placating is what that is. Pay attention, y'all, while both on the stream as well as in your general area. I've been getting reports from our viewers that we've been getting paranormal activity happening during the live stream while we're discussing some of the things we're discussing. Yesterday, at the very end, I believe, I've got Kyle wrote the numbers down and sent it to me. As we were talking, there was a mist came through right here. Nobody driving by, wasn't a light anomaly. Nobody was out here vaping or smoking. There's nobody up on the upper deck. So one of the things with paranormal investigating that I find excruciatingly interesting is we are seeing an explosion of people being able to record and capture paranormal activity. And I don't think most of it is because the activity is getting more intense. I think our technology is starting to show dividends in what we are able to grab, what we're able to see. I mean, hell, I'm on an iPhone 11, and the camera on this is probably better than any camera I've ever owned. And it's one of the things with... welcome from San Diego, y'all. That is my dad's side of the family hometown. I haven't been in San Diego since 1981. I was just a wee lad. Small memories of San Diego. As soon as this all crap goes by, I want to get back out onto the West Coast. One, come visit all our peeps out in Los Angeles. Huge mad respects to Los Angeles and the San Francisco area. And get down to San Diego and get a chance to come visit you guys in San Diego. But back on topic, I think with the technology that we have out there now, you're starting to be able to grab and capture a lot more paranormal activity with what the general public has at their disposal. Keeping in mind, nowadays, and hasn't been that long, we now have front door bell cameras. We have cameras inside our houses for security. We've got basically this walking computer sitting on our hips that everybody has access to grab stuff they see, as well as accidentally grabbing things while they're doing selfies. And right behind you is a spirit going, hey. Which, by the way, tell all of my tour guests, my plan, way down the road when I pass away, is I'm just going to go and spend my afterlife for a while photo bombing tourists. I can't think of a better way to spend the afterlife. Hey! So, now, keep in mind when we're talking about types of hauntings, without diving deep off into the science of what is out there. Bare bones, as an investigator, when we're doing our investigations, we document most, not all, but most entities into technically one of four categories. Now, there is a fifth, and we'll talk about that one here in a minute. But those four categories are residual, intelligent, demonic, poltergeist. All right. Now, first one, residual haunting, known in the scientific community in the world as the stone tape theory. All right. Now, this theory basically states that if energy is displaced in an atmosphere, be it a dramatic event, very bloody event, an event that is ritualistic in, like for example, out there on at the Wishing Bridge, that we know that a lot of the voodoo practitioners back in the 1800s would set up out there and do their rituals and drum and that sort of thing, as well as in Congo Square, where a lot of rituals were done, as well as drumming circles and that sort of thing. So you have a lot of energy and faith and belief pumped into the atmosphere. If you have a area where there is something that is repetitively done for many, many years, theory is that that energy, that image, or that sound can be recorded on the atmosphere. And at a specific time, it can be played back. Much like whenever the formula hits just right, or something to that effect, and then it can be played back much like an audio tape or a videotape. Now, as an investigator, when we are doing our walkthroughs, we're hearing our stories, and people are talking about a full body apparition, they see them walking down the hallway, lady in white walks down the hallway, cuts a left, walks through the wall, and then you go back, you do your research, come to find out that where she's cutting a left at used to be a door. That leads to a residual haunting if they're doing that same path every single time. Now, in dealing with the residual haunting, as an investigator, if you are lucky enough to get to witness that event, and no matter what you do, they will not interact with you. You can't get an EVP. You're not picking up any interaction. You're dealing with a residual haunt because it's just a videotape. It's just an audio tape. It's just playing over and over and over again. Theory is there's no intelligence there. Now, the next one is what we call an intelligent haunting. This is what, as an investigator, as a paranormal investigator, this is what we're looking for. All right? This is the holy grail of an investigation. These entities are hopefully able to interact with us on some level. And in that interaction, we are able to bring that back to the world, recording it on different forms of media, and bringing it back to the world as evidence. This gets off into a whole subset called of EVPs, ITC, instrumental trance communication, photography. If we are able to get that entity to interact with us in some way or show a level of intelligence and understanding that they realize that they exist and they are interacting with our world. Now, the next one, we could do an entire 2-hour podcast on poltergeist activity. Now, poltergeist, the word poltergeist is actually a German word meaning noisy spirit or noisy ghost. So a lot of hauntings will get lumped into poltergeist activity. Picture frames get knocked off the walls, doors, windows opening and shutting and slamming for no reason. You walk out of a kitchen, turn around, you walk right back in that kitchen less than 5 seconds later, and every cabinet door has been slammed open and all the stuff has been thrown out onto the ground. Poltergeist activity, noisy spirit or noisy ghost. Now, there's a couple of theories that float around out there on poltergeist activity. And one of the prevailing theories is that what we have found over the years in investigations and documenting, that a lot of times hardcore paranormal activity surrounds itself or is in the atmosphere where there are a lot of times prepubescent teenagers. And a lot of times, don't shoot me for this, just the messenger, didn't come up with a theory, don't throw shade. Prepubescent females. Theory is that in the human mind, when a person is getting ready to go into being a teenager and they're hitting puberty, for all of us parents out there, we know this because this is the point where their head spins around, pea shoots out their nose, you want to throw them in a cage until they're 18. Yeah, that time. That in prepubescent teenagers, there's a chemical change in the brain. And that one of the theories is that chemical change can cause this paranormal activity, this poltergeist activity, and can manifest, especially if, and 9 times out of 10, actually probably most of the time, that teenager doesn't even realize they're doing it. They're just as scared as anybody else in the house. They don't understand what's happening. One of the ways as investigators we try and deal with this is if we're coming in, we're doing our interviews, and we realize that a lot of the activity is surrounding whenever this individual is there. One of the things we can try is pulling that individual out of the environment for the investigation, and then bring them, what's up, Mr. Thomas? Much love, mad respect, brother. We can then bring them in a controlled environment back into the atmosphere and see if that garners a reaction. See if we start getting that activity showing up again. Keep in mind, y'all, just a theory. This is a theory that's been out there for many, many, many years. And so as paranormal investigators, we are trying to get more information to try and back up these theories and see if these theories hold water. Now, last but definitely not least, demonic hauntings. Now, keep in mind, guys, depending on your religious background, theology, how you were raised, that sort of thing, some religions and backgrounds call them demons, dark energy, dark spirits, whatever that background is. Most of us are in agreement amongst the different religions that these are entities that have never walked the face of the planet in a human form. Now, in saying that, keep in mind, not all non-human entities are evil or malevolent. One of our trains rolling through. You can have everything from demons to the fae to angels. The plethora goes on and on and on, depending on your religious background, your belief structure, your belief system. So where a lot of people will tag something, oh, that is demonic, yeah, Daniel, that's what I was saying. A lot of times it is female teenagers that are prepubescent that it goes into, because there is such a huge shift in their biological chemistry. And in doing that, one of the theories is that chemical shift causes the poltergeist style activity. Now, jumping back to non-human entities, as we kind of touched on yesterday, a lot of times when dealing with a non-human entity, most times as an investigator, you're going to know rather rapidly if you're dealing with a non-human entity. Now, having said that, one of the things out there is a lot of times, be it whatever name you want to put on it, demon, dark energy, dark spirit, a lot of times these entities we have found over the years will masquerade themselves as children in the haunting. And the theory behind this is that most human beings, in dealing with a child spirit or believing that you're dealing with a child spirit, you are more likely to bring down your security. You're going to allow that entity longer time in the atmosphere that they're in, because you believe or you think that you are dealing with a kid. So that gives them more time to complete or do whatever it is they want to do. Their attachments, they're sucking energy off, whatever it is their mission goal is, that gives them more time. So there are some things that we do as investigators and some things that we look for as investigators to try and figure out, are we dealing with a child entity, an honest to God child spirit, human wise, or are we dealing with something that is mimicking and is trying to pull the wool over our eyes and trying to do something. Keep in mind, this, like I said, covers everything I already said, plus doppelgangers fall into that. We're going to be doing an episode down the line on some of the different paranormal things out there that don't just revolve around ghosts. So be looking for those as well. So like I said, those are the 4. Now the 5th, and I wanted to, yesterday we had some really good, exactly, Samantha, just because it is non-human does not mean that it is evil. I want to, put big bright lights on that. Just because it is not a non-human entity does not mean you are dealing with something that is evil or malevolent. Angels fall into this category for those that believe in that side of their belief structure. There are entities out there that don't fall in the evil or good. They are strictly neutral. Goes into a lot of your nature-based entities that a lot of the belief structures have out there. Your fae, and that go back thousands upon thousands of years of stories of the fae. They can go neutral as long as you don't piss them off. Now, if you piss them off, they have a tendency to lead to one side. But, so yeah, just because they are non-human doesn't categorize them as evil. Now the 5th that I want to talk about, and like I said, I'm going to dive off and do some hardcore in-depth research into this phenomena, is shadow people, shadow figures. There is a lot of study being done out there by paranormal teams that, because we are running into these shadow entities, these shadow figures, and they aren't acting like a normal, what we would consider a ghost or an apparition. They're dealing more, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this. There's a very sharp intelligence there. They act like they have a specific reason. There's a specific thing they are there to do, and they're not just acting as we would consider a ghost. So I think one of the things that we're seeing now, especially in the paranormal world, which I find immensely interesting, is we are starting to get a lot of sub-topics off of, because having in the past 10 to 15 years, paranormal activity and paranormal investigation isn't the taboo subject it was 15, 20 years ago. So it is more open. You have more teams out there doing hardcore investigations. And luckily, hopefully, a lot of the teams, we will talk to each other. It's not a turf war. It's not well, this is my turf, you stay over there. And a lot of us, don't get me wrong, y'all, would I like my own TV show? Would I like to be a part of that? Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's not the ego side of it. It's when you get the backing of those production companies, they can bring to bear a lot more money and a lot more clout, getting you into places to investigate that you might not have the chance to investigate. That's my number one reason for wanting, hopefully, the God's willing and listening, to get on our own show or on a show. But with those shows taking off the way they did in the past decade, it's brought paranormal activity out into the general populace, out into the world. It's not a taboo subject that people talk about in hushed whispers, because people are going to think you're crazy. So that, I think, is a very positive side of the TV shows and people being interested in paranormal activity and doing the research and doing the investigations and getting boots in the dirt out there trying to find the answers to this stuff that we're going into. Now, pops into my head, I get asked all the time, what really pushes you as a paranormal investigator? And that's kind of a deep subject, and I tell my guests all the time that, don't get me wrong, going into the Eastern State Penitentiaries, Waverly Hills, the Bobby Mackey's, here at home, the Monteleone, Le Pavillon, the Provincial Hotel, the Lalaurie Mansion, I love those. Those are an adrenaline rush. We know there is activity there. It is a huge adrenaline rush when you start getting that evidence. You start making those connections. But truly, honestly, in the dark recesses of the night, when you run up against things that are, and don't, any investigator out there that tells you they don't get scared, they don't get nervous, is full of de caca, okay? That's BS. Okay, we're humans, and if they don't get scared in some of the crap we run into, I'm not so sure I really want to hang out with them, because that's just not right. When you're down in the death chute of Waverly Hills Sanatorium and your closest backup is 3 floors above you, and have is a little bitty screen on a video camera, and it is jet black, you can't see your hand in front of your face, and your only connection to the outside world is that radio on your hip, and then something walks up and rubs its finger down the side of your face, and you hear walking around you, and you're looking around and there's nothing there. We call that officially in the paranormal world a pucker factor 10. And it's at that point you're at a crossroads. Do you stay and document, or do you scream like a 4-year-old girl and beat feet back for your buddies? I've been to that crossroads many times. And I can squeal like a 4-year-old girl very technically, very well. But what honestly pushes me as a paranormal investigator is when we get phone calls for private investigations. When somebody contacts us and says, look, we need the team. Can you guys come and try and figure out what we have in our house, what we're dealing with? I'm scared. My kids are scared. And the second those words come out of your mouth, you've just activated my team. We are going to move heaven, hell, and earth to get at least some of the team there to start figuring out what you are dealing with. Because to me, as an investigator, as a human being, I honestly can't think of anything more terrifying than somebody to be afraid to be in their own home, for their kids to be afraid to sleep in their own beds, and have nowhere to turn to. Because let's face it, if you own your home, you can't just bail and, I'm just going to move somewhere else. You've got your life savings wrapped up into that. If you're renting your home, you can't just up and leave. You blow your renter's history. If you can find another place to live, and I mean, Ghostbusters had it right, and I embrace the Ghostbusters thing. Who are you going to call? The Nope Team. So that's what pushes me as an investigator, is to help people, to try and figure out what myself, Evie, my other investigators have dedicated our lives to hunting, to asking those questions, is there to help people. And that's what pushes me as an investigator, to chase and go after the things that go bump in the night. So as that question was asked, what pushes me as an investigator? And it's the same thing with Evie. Evie is just as dedicated to helping people deal with these things that are paranormal. When we do an investigation, we walk in as skeptics. I want to find a logical explanation for everything that I can. Because if I can find a logical explanation, let's make it easy math. For 80% of the stories you're telling us in your house, if I can find logical explanation, 80%, front door is cracked just a little bit, you open the back door, it creaks. Or if the window's open just a little bit, the door will creak and open itself. The pipes rattle when the heater comes on. You've accidentally created a fear cage in your house, being bombarded by EMF, which we'll get into talking in another episode. If I can find logical explanation to 80% of what you're experiencing, that leaves me 20% that I don't have a logical explanation for. Now I got something to hunt. Now I got something to go after and try and get on some form of media that I can bring back to parapsychologists, hardcore skeptics. Lay that evidence in front of them with all of our notes, everything we've done, and say, all right, explain that to me. Explain to me what I'm seeing, because here's what we did. Here's all of our information. Here's the weather. Here's the humidity. Here is the amount of EMF in the atmosphere. Here's the equipment we were using. In a scientific method way, now I've got something to go after. So, as an investigator, that's my thought philosophy on how we do things. Now, so not to make and run this too long, what I need to do is I need to get me a little, timer clock right here, because you guys know me. Once I start talking, I ain't going to shut up because I like talking. I made a career out of it. Some updates here in the city, y'all. Hot zone, that is New Orleans. As of us going live right here, in the city of New Orleans alone, in in Orleans Parish, we are now officially up to 352 confirmed cases, and we've lost 12 people so far. In Jefferson Parish, right outside of Orleans Parish, what is known as the greater New Orleans area, you're looking at 106 confirmed cases, 2 deaths. They are just now starting to get our drive-through testing up and operational, so you're getting ready to watch those numbers through the ceiling. All I got to say to that is, if at all possible, and I say this with all love and respect, keep your ass home. Wash your nappy ass hands. Don't touch your face. Stay at home. Come on, guys. Think about it. We have dreamed for years as the working public to be able to stay at home and watch TV and listen to Cedric stream and watch his live streams. Do I need to say more? Keep your nappy ass at home. I love each one of you out there. I want you guys to stay healthy. If not for yourself, do it for your loved ones and all the other miscreants we hang out with. All right? Keep your ass at home. They have locked us down now. The only thing technically open anymore is grocery stores, gas stations, pharmacies. I ventured out just a little while ago. Got a couple of resupplies at Walmart. We're going to be starting a Victory Garden back here in the back. We're going to follow our predecessors, and much mad love and respect to them. We're going to set up and do Victory Gardens here in the back. But Walmart, the shelves are looking a little bare. But do me a favor, y'all. When you guys venture out, and for my guys that do this on my stream, that hear this message, let those people out there know, the guys and gals working at Walmart, the ones at the grocery stores, at Walgreens, at the gas stations, our first responders, our nurses. Dude, show them love. Just tell them that you're here. Give them mad respect. I told a lady at Walgreens as she checked me out, and I've got my mask on, and yes, it was the apocalyptic one. My gloves on. I told her, I said, you know what? Thank you. You're a hero. And at first she kind of was like, keep in mind, we're on the edge of New Orleans East. So she just kind of looked at me kind of, what's this crazy white boy talking about? I said, you're keeping us alive. You are the supply lines. You are the front lines. And she actually started crying. And so let them know. Let them know how much, because they're putting their butts on the line to make sure we keep having supplies and that stuff keeps going. So let them know. And guys, this pandemic has a silver lining. And I've started to notice that this pandemic is bringing people closer. We are spending more time doing this right here, which we never would have done prior to this. I'm listening to amazing stories being read across the internet. People are sharing watch parties. It's bringing the world closer. So keep that thought in the back of your head when as we start to get into the dark and scary parts, that there is a silver lining to all this, and it's bringing us closer as people. So on that note, we'll be going live again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. If something changes, I will post it ahead of time. Thanks to some amazing Herculean efforts by some of y'all out there. Mad shout out to Batty, to Toast, to Kyle. And I'm forgetting some out there. But my live stream on Mixer is getting ready to go. We're going to start live streaming both stuff with the Demon's Tea Room as far as the paranormal side of it, as well as setting up on my channel, doing leather work, having the cameras down while I work on some projects, talking through those projects, and teaching you guys both directions, leather work and costuming and prop building. So that's about to go live. We've got people that have donated webcams to me, and all of that. So, dude, mad respects. I can never, words just don't cover it. The love you guys have shown to Evie and I here in the Demon's Tea Room. Posting up my Discord channel. We now have the channel set up. I've got moderators in there. We have rooms for people to go in and sit down and talk steampunk, Star Wars, paranormal. So on the Discord, come in, hang out, chill with us. The Mixer stream on Mixer is called the Demon's Tea Room. You guys do me a huge solid. Go in there, like the channel. Because if I get enough likes, both with YouTube and on the Mixer channel, that monetizes it. That means I can get sponsors that can help Evie and I through this time where we can't do tours. Once the pandemic dies down, we're able to get back to work. All of those donations, all of that effort we're putting in will go into the Nope team and will give us the ability to buy equipment that we can't afford otherwise and keep the Nope team going, keep the streams going. So all of your donations, all of that love out there has a tangible effect, guys. So with the YouTube channel, go down, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the little bell notification so that you know when we're posting another one. The Techno Witch right down there, my lovely Batty is putting a link down there. And by the way, everybody, tell the crazy bat, the Techno Witch, happy birthday. Today's her birthday. Much love. Actually, it was, anyway, today or yesterday, but it was her and I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning. Her walking me through getting the Mixer stuff set up. I'm a 70s and 80s kid. I plug and play. And so she is very much getting me through Tank, Kyle, Like I said, mad respect to you guys for bringing me into the 21st century. So, boost that signal. Hack the planet. Hack the planet! Hack the planet. All right? Get this stream out there. Get the word out there. That is one of the best and hugest ways you guys can help me out, is boost the signal. They can't stop the signal. So we got the friends, got all that. So, guys, that is it for today. Keep your eyes and your ears open. The live streams are getting ready to start. The Demon's Tea Room is jumping into the 21st century, and we're going to be going live. Have some patience. Going to be learning some stuff as we go. It's going to be a little rocky and rough. I'll probably hit the wrong button occasionally. Not techno savvy. I build armor, remember? But I want to see all of you there. I want all you guys to stay healthy, stay happy. Psychologically, I know this is rough, y'all. I'm walking down it with you. You're not alone. All right? We are the voice in the darkness. We are out here. There's thousands of people out there that are talking. We are lucky that we're having to go through this, and we have this right here to stay in touch with each other. So keep each other up. Keep reaching a hand out to those out there. We're going to get through this as a community. So guys, I'm going to end it there. Much mad, huge respect to my entire digital family out there. I'll be seeing you guys on the flip side. Be paying attention to the channel, to Facebook, to all that. Keep you guys up. I got a feeling we got some big things that are going to happen with the channel, and that is because of you guys, and that is for you guys out there. So, from the Demon's Tea Room, from the hot zone that is the city of New Orleans, mad peace and love to all my family out there, guys. Remember, all of the links are in all that stuff. I don't need to go through all that because I've made it already long and I can't remember because I'm getting old. But, mad respect and love, y'all. Peace out.